Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Masters Muscle Podcast. Unfortunately, our guest is running just a little bit late on California time. Maybe he's coming back from the beach. I don't know. Whether he'll join us or not, I'm not sure. But of course, Vin and I are here to talk shop, talk anything bodybuilding, and good to have you back, Vin.
Thank you. So, just so everybody knows, we've been waiting for Danny. I text him, and just he hasn't answered. So maybe he's at Gold's Venice right now working out. I don't know, but pop up those pictures that we had planned to.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know Danny Hester, he was the very first classic Masters Olympia. And also the first time I saw him was on a Muscle Media 2000 magazine alongside you, Vinny.
Yeah. So the one to the far right, the gold one, that hit the magazine stands, and wow, that basically, I was in a couple of magazines prior to that, but that put me on the map. That photo shoot, that was one photo shoot lasted probably like 6 hours, and we got on 3 covers together. He got on a couple of covers, I got on a couple of covers all solo, and a lot of features in Muscle and Fitness and Flex magazine. So that one day, those 6 hours paid off for the two of us. That, I believe, that was 1995. Yeah.
Let's see, because I think the Muscle Media looks like 96. You might be right. It looks like 96 on the Muscle Media.
Yeah, but
and
the photo
then
95.
97 on the B&K, and then no on the middle one, the North American, but either way.
And the North American Bodybuilding and Fitness Directory, that's how you got in touch with your favorite bodybuilder. It was literally a directory with everybody's home addresses or PO box numbers, and you would write to them. That's how you got in touch with them. It was pretty cool. I would get fan mail.
I can see that by being kind of stalker, no? I'm sure you get some weird stuff.
Different time. Nobody's. Yeah, well, you got your weird emails. I used to have one lady email me from Trinidad that she wanted to come and have me pick her up at Newark Airport.
Okay.
She would write me all the time. It's kind of fun. But Danny and I worked together quite often. We did a lot of photo shoots. Danny was so readily available because he's from Venice area. And so he was training at Gold's Gym. And like I've said in the past on other podcasts, I would make appointments with photographers and come in after the nationals. And so that's the only time I was able to do photo shoots. But yeah, so Danny was probably one of the best middleweights in the country for many years. Yeah. And ironically, Danny didn't win the nationals. It was when they changed the rules that you can be runner-up, and he was second place in the nationals, got his pro card, and the rest is history. And he won a few pro shows, and the first master classic Olympia champion.
Did you guys ever compete against each other?
Oh, of course, yeah. I think it went back and forth a couple times. He beat me, I beat him. We were, it was kind of weird. Like me coming from East Coast and him being in California and the West Coast, we had complete respect for each other. We got along really well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like that at all. I remember going out to California a lot of times, and those guys took me in with open arms. I remember one day, here's Flex Wheeler training, and this is a guy in the magazines, this is a guy like Flex Wheeler. And he said, yeah, man, your name's been kicking around a while now. I'm like, really? Like, you know who I am? And he's like, yeah. So it was a buzz that you don't have today because of social media.
Yeah.
When you hear about a guy who lives somewhere else, and it takes a phone call, people talking, and then it becomes like it's escalated like that. There's something about that that's kind of like really impressive,
Yeah.
But it's different time.
But
Uh,
I know we've talked about the different mentalities between the Northeast, the Jersey New Yorkers versus California, where California, it's like work out, firehouse, go to the beach.
well, no,
Where
it was even different than that because
okay,
I'd go into Golds. I remember training with Jason Arntz once, and we were training legs. Um, and other times, like balls out training, just the way we know it here in New York and New Jersey.
yeah,
And these guys are like, do a set, relax, do a set, talk a little bit, very relaxed. And I'm like, let's fucking go. I want to fucking train. What the fuck you doing? And they're like, yo, you gotta relax, calm down. You're gonna get stressed out. I'm like, I'm fucking stressed out because you're not moving. Let's go. And then it was, we had a different work ethic than
yeah.
not that they didn't work hard, they worked maybe smarter. I don't know. maybe it was smarter. Maybe it was a better approach. I remember seeing Flex Wheeler train, and it was way different. It was like quiet.
Okay,
It was
yeah,
cool. I remember I got up on purpose really early in the morning because I knew he was shooting for one of the videos for the Olympia, and he trained at Gold's at like 4:30 in the morning, I think.
okay,
And yeah, I went to go train just to be in the same area, and I wanted to see him train. So
yep,
it was kind of impressive the way he trained, though, because he was trained. He was very strong. Flex was very, very strong, and Chris Cormier was a little different. He trained much, much heavier than everybody else. Chris was so strong.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but their attitudes were a little bit more like laid back and chill. And East Coast going over there was like everybody was like trained harder, but a different approach.
I feel it's more the blue collar mentality. I don't know if it's just like the Northeast thing.
Yeah,
Again, the urgency and balls to the wall, like you're saying. We're over there. It's hey,
yeah,
take it
because we
easy.
always move fast here.
Yeah,
We move faster than other areas. And then you get to California, everything is just more like, yo, relax. So, but yeah, I mean, I had a good time those few years I was there. I never lived there, but I
yeah.
was there quite often. I was there for
Okay.
long periods of time, but I didn't have a residence there.
Yeah. I think at that point you have to like almost just explore the different sides, the different mentalities, philosophies, and everything else, just to
Yeah,
you
and
know.
there were different gyms too. Mostly I went to Gold's because that's where it was, more exciting. But I went to other gyms. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but it was different. Like you would go train and then
Yeah.
go eat at the firehouse,
Yep.
and you would see actors and actresses, and they'd just be sitting along amongst you, and you're like, hey, and they're just eating lunch like you are. So it was kind of cool. Yeah.
Vin, we haven't caught up for a while after the Masters. I don't know if there's anything you want to share, whether it's the show or Romania afterwards with your lovely wife, or
Everything was great. You know, unfortunately, they wouldn't allow me to switch over from open to classic, and I think I would have done a little bit better.
okay,
Um, the guys were just enormous. They
yeah,
were,
yeah,
I mean, I was hanging at about 192 pounds. I was probably in one of my best conditions ever. So I'm happy with that.
yep,
Um, but those guys were, God, like, I'm 5'6.5", and most of those guys were like 6', 6'3", 250, 280 ish
yep,
monsters. They were all nice backstage. Everybody, I'll tell you a funny story about. Um, I'm having a brain fart with his name, so I apologize. Who won?
oh, come on,
um,
Kamal,
Kamal, right?
yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to disrespect him. I can never get his name in my head. So we're backstage pumping up, and I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but Kamal is just laying down. He's sleeping. He's out
jeez,
cold, sleeping, and he must have been there a good 2 hours. And what's funny, before I go into the story, is like I always tell the guys that I train, you're gonna see bizarre shit backstage. You're gonna
yep,
see people trying to drink wine. You're gonna see people trying to eat a ton of rice cakes with jelly and honey and all
yep,
this bullshit. that's not making any difference except giving you a stomach ache. And then here's Kamal gets up because the girl woke him up to say, hey, it's time for you to get glazed. You got to get shine on. He got up and I'm watching him. He didn't look like anything. He looked soft.
Yeah.
He goes into the tent. Nothing. He's just standing there, not pumping up, nothing. And we're starting to line up to go. All of a sudden, he puts his hands back, pushes his Christmas tree, goes boom. His back. Right. I'm like, what the fuck was that? His glutes, his hamstrings are popping out. Then he starts doing poses. And I'm like, oh my God, the guy didn't even pump up. Yeah. It was amazing. I mean, just amazing. And then his body just came alive. It was another level that I've never seen before. So,
okay.
You know, I know my role in this sport. I know where I belong. I'm not, I have I'm not delusional. So I'm pretty realistic. I know the level I've been at is the level I should be at.
Yeah.
And I'm good with that. I'm fine. I've made a career out of it. And then to see this level of conditioning and size and thickness and this monster just standing in front of me who looked like nothing, and all of a sudden he comes alive when he starts posing. And then I got the greatest view because I got like dead last call out, and I'm standing there. But all the guys were cool. And they were like, Vin, you look great. You're gonna make the top 10. I'm like, no, I'm not. The only way I'm making top 10 is if 2 more guys get out of the show. So we got a couple of guys who didn't make it and from illnesses and stuff, injuries. And Josh Lenartowicz actually walked off stage because he didn't feel well.
I was going to ask you. Okay.
So he's good. He's good. If anybody's wondering, because he did walk off stage. He had a headache, and he's coming. He had, I think 5 years ago, a brain tumor.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had surgery. I don't know what the details were, but I know that he was starting to feel like something bad was going to happen, and he thought it would be a better idea to walk off stage.
Yeah.
So he was fine. Nobody could find him for a while, but he just needed to, and everybody knows when you're in that mode of competing and everything gets a little faster that day. So if you're not feeling well, it's another level of fast. So he walked off stage. Then all the guys are pretty cool.
So were you able to keep yourself kind of mentally focused, looking at the competition? Were you still keeping yourself in the right mind, or were you kind of like shit?
No, listen, and I'm gonna say this. This was probably the most stressful contest prep I ever had, and I'm gonna go back to day one. So at a year ago, right now, literally a year ago, I competed in the Daytona so that way I could try to get a win, because we didn't know if you had to win something to get into the Olympia or was it an invite or whatever. So fortunately, I did win the over 50 last year in the Daytona. And then talks were of you got to write a letter and petition to get in, right? So I can't remember the time frame that was, but that was like, I think, early January. So we're not knowing what's going on. And then you write the letter. I can't remember, sometime between October and end of December. And then in January, we now find out, okay, we're not going to let you know who's invited until Monday, April 27th. And now, oh, fuck. I mean, like, can't you just let us know now so I can train for this thing so everybody can train for it?
Yeah.
And I think like it was a weird dynamic for me.
Yep.
I've been doing this a long time, and there's a lot of Masters guys that just got on board the last couple of years. So it was exciting for them. It was exciting for me in a different way because I've been doing this my whole life. My first contest was when I was 16 years old, and here I am 56. It's 40 years in the making. And, when I first started this, after taking dead last at the Masters Baltimore Pro in 2017 and 2018, to look back and say, wow, I just won 8 Masters Pro shows and placed high in a couple others. So
Yep.
it's been a fantastic ride, and I'm grateful. But I kind of was done. I was like, I don't know if I really want to know. I don't know if I really want to continue competing right now. If the Olympia wasn't in the talks, I probably would not have competed this past year at all. I probably would have taken the whole year off because I was pretty burnt out after the Masters Baltimore Pro. The year before, I needed to go back there because I was like, well, I took dead last when I first started. I said, I got to go back. And I won the 50 and I won the 40 and the 35 in that. And that was great. And I was tired. I didn't want to compete.
Yeah.
So somebody came up to me and said, hey, you're going to do the world, right? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing yet. No, you have to do the world. You're on a roll and you need to compete. And this was somebody who was kind of like connected to the powers to be.
Okay.
And this person shouldn't have told me that because it kind of like put stress on me. Like, I got to do this now.
Yeah.
If I do it, like, is it going to be held against me? So I did it. Didn't bring my best because I was tired. And then I don't know how I mustered up the energy to do the Daytona, but I did it, won that. And then it just was it was spinning out of control with like not really wanting to do a show, but Olympia, right? How can I pass this opportunity up? So I did my proper resting and training differently so I could recover better and, try to have longevity with it. But to know you're not going to win a contest, I was trying to I reached out to a few different guys in the sport and I didn't get through to them, but I wanted to know, like, okay, when you were doing the Olympia and you were a 200-pound guy going against a 250-pound guy.
Yeah.
How do you get that? How do you channel that energy to go think and win?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to win this. And then I started telling people, and I wasn't being negative. I was being realistic.
Yeah.
I hope I can crack the top 10. And everybody's, oh, you're going to crack the top 10. Oh, I'm like, no, dude, you guys, these guys are going to be nasty.
Yeah.
Look at the way you look. I'm like, yeah, picture me 3 times the size. Like, that's what it was like. I was like a child standing next to these guys. So, it was a good experience, but I was stressed out the whole time. Like, not stressed out, but the weight of it was on me a little bit more because of the waiting. And like, how do you train for something that you're not going to win? You don't have a fucking chance to win.
Yeah.
Then I think the stress ate me up a little bit. And here and there, I was like getting flat and like I wasn't bringing the conditioning and size that I thought I was.
Yep.
That I'm known for in the past couple of shows, even though people thought I was bringing my best. I brought my best, but I didn't. Like, it was wishy-washy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if I'm going to be honest with myself. So,
did you try any new tricks or anything? Water, or was your regime, everything kind of the same regardless?
For the warm-up in Tampa, I did a diuretic that I should not have done. I know my body better than that. And when this is not tunnel vision, mistakes come in. So I don't know. And then I tried a mild over-the-counter diuretic for the Olympia. I think that washed me out a little bit. I have a physique that works extremely well with taking in a lot of water and a lot of sea salt. So when I'm taking in sea salt, I look very dry and hard, but it didn't display that. But hey, it was great. It was a great opportunity. I got to see Romania. I had a great tour guide, this guy Christy, and he explained about communism, and he explained about all the buildings that were built during communism and what happened about their president during that time frame and how they brought him into the center of the street.
Yep.
And really just put a gun to his head and blew his head off.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it was kind of intense area, you know. And what was funny was, I said to Christy, I said, "How come no one's smiling back at me?" He's like, "Because you're American." I'm like, "What?" Like, you stand out like a sore thumb. They know you're an American. You don't look anything like us. And they're just a little standoffish. I was like saying hello to people, like, "Hey, how you doing?" 'Cause I'm so happy to be there. I was excited. And they're like looking at me like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you saying hello to me? Who are you?"
Oh,
And
jeez.
yeah, no, it was very cold, very cold. And then but that was it. So had a great
Yeah.
time in that sense. Um, the prep, I couldn't dive into it like I wanted to. I pretended every time I trained, I was in a positive mood to, hopefully believe that for real. But I mean,
Yeah.
when I trained with my training partners, my Juan and my nephew Nick, and other guys that I trained with here and there, I had great training sessions. I mean, the workouts were great. I am not gonna say they weren't. But to know you're not gonna train for a show. Oh, and then so it's Sunday or Monday. No, wait, I think it was Friday before the announcement on Monday, and they announce we're not gonna announce it on Monday. We're gonna announce it
Yeah.
on.
I remember that.
Come on, you gotta make us wait another day. Come on, what are you doing? So that was fuck. I was like, oh, I'm all stressed out here. I think I brought the stress on myself more than I probably needed to. I didn't know how to turn it off. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I was training for a show. When you turn that switch on, it's on, right? So it's 12 weeks or 15 weeks for a show. My switch was on right from the Daytona into off season. Like,
Yeah.
my off season was short and it was on. I didn't let go of the pedal. I just kept going. So I think that burnt me out too mentally.
You started earlier too. If I remember correctly, you kept yourself leaner, but you also started earlier.
Which I should have. Listen, I'm old school and I'm very comfortable with putting body fat on. I know how to get rid of it. And when I'm leaner, I almost don't know where to start when I'm training for a show. If that
Yep. Okay.
I know it doesn't sound like makes sense, but so in the off season, I don't care about eating pizza or ice cream and having a little fun
Yeah.
fat. It doesn't bother me, not the way it looks or the way I feel. I'm completely fine with being up a few pounds with some body fat. It's just the way we did things. And so that goes into like people saying, "Oh, you're dirty bulking." I'm like, I don't dirty bulk. I just want to eat what the fuck I want to eat
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's enjoyable. I'm a foodie. I love food.
You're
Um,
Italian.
I'm Italian. I mean, hey, for those who know, like, my sister is still on the Golden Bachelor. We had a huge party for her. My sister Charlotte made meatballs, and uh, my whole family was there. So that's the way we do things. And I probably operate better starting a prep a little fat at 15
Yeah.
weeks out than being lean and not knowing, all right, do I diet harder now? But
Yeah.
I had a good coach. I had Fabry behind me, and we put together a good plan. Um, and it's funny because when I do progress pics, I look completely different in pictures than I do in person.
I think that's normal though for anybody.
No, like when I do progress pics, I'm more like, oh, you're off. You're way off. And then when you see me in person, it's a completely different person. It's like a different look. And it was a learning experience for Fakri that he realized later, I think, you were leaner than I realized, he said, leading into the show. And maybe we would have ate more. I'm not sure. But I ate a lot of food. I had to eat so much food because I was losing so much body fat fast. So I had to
Yeah.
keep
Okay.
a lot of work for this prep.
So let's go back to something here. Regardless of the show, when you're there show day, do you have like what is your meal the day of, or like you said, people do weird things. I've seen people drink soy sauce. It's rice cakes with peanut butter. What is your protocol? Do you have a food protocol the morning of the show?
No.
No.
And it's funny because like not one person backstage was doing anything that I see at an amateur show.
Okay.
But the amateurs think pros do, like they think we got to do certain thing. I just saw people eating their meals. Like I literally ate a meal, like
Okay.
an hour and a half, my normal meal, whatever I had to eat that day at
Yep.
that time. Those were the meals I was eating. There was no, I'm going to have anything crazy. Oh, the one thing I did have was a date, two dates.
Okay. Yep.
I had these Medrol dates.
Okay.
And I like having them. They're a little sugar, and I eat them. I ate two before I walked on stage.
Okay. All right.
That was it. But I don't have anything in my diet the day of a show that I haven't had the last 3-4 months, because
Yeah.
you never know what it's going to do to your stomach. And then the other weird thing during this prep was I found out I was having bad stomach problems. And I thought, am I stressed out? Like what's going on with me? My stomach would expand periodically and hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Where I came to find out that I was allergic. I developed an allergic reaction to turkey.
Oh, interesting.
So I had to cut that out completely. And that was like my go-to protein for the last 5 years. Like I could eat turkey burgers all day long.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I switched over to first I did chicken breast, ground chicken breast, and that was like eating a fucking cardboard box. I couldn't do that. So then I said, well, let me do regular chicken, like just chicken burgers.
Yeah. Okay.
And I do that. And I have this weird concoction. I did it with the turkey. Now I'm doing it with the chicken. I mush after I cook the burgers, I chop it up and put it in the cream of rice with some sea salt. It's delicious.
You're so full of shit. It's delicious. Your
I mean,
face.
I ate it today. It was good.
How long did it take you to figure out you were, I guess, allergic to turkey, though? Like, I would never think that.
I was eliminating everything.
Yeah.
I go to the gym and I'd be like talking to my training partner Juan. I'd be like, dude, my stomach, I don't know. All right, maybe it's the cream of rice. Maybe it's the pre-workout. Maybe I couldn't figure out what, and it was a process of elimination. And I was that was stressing me out too. So when you're uncomfortable, that's very stressful. I mean, I never had that going into a prep before, where I would eat something and is it the food? Is it a supplement?
Nerves. Yeah.
Is it nerves? What is it?
Danny's jumping on. Danny's jumping on. Danny's jumping
on.
Is it working?
Yo.
Dude, this was like...
What's up, man?
I'm driving from Vegas to LA, my usual route, and there's no reception for a nice chunk of it.
Well, we're glad you joined us.
I can't believe I got on. Usually my wife's the one who handles this tech stuff for me. She's not here, so I was like, oh my God.
So this is the first somebody joining on driving a car, so.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, kind of. It's a little echoey. Are we on?
Yeah, we've been on for 38 minutes.
You can listen to the playback. Vinny was bad mouthing the hell out of you offline.
Oh, that's normal. That means he loves me.
I love you, Danny. Well, we were talking about our time that we spent together when I would come out and do photo shoots with you and the covers we were on. The one from Muscle Media 2000. Can you hear us?
Oh, back in the 90s?
Yeah. Who was the photographer that shot us? Do you remember? Was that Irving Gelb?
No, it was the main photographers back then was Robert Reeve.
Yeah. All right.
I think that was for Muscle Media.
Robert Reese, right? I
Muscle
think you're
Media magazine. What's that? Jim something. Jim Mentler.
Jim Mentler. Yeah. We lost
Say
you.
that? Why is it?
We lost your video, Danny. We have your audio, but we lost your video.
We lost your video.
Right. Hold on.
So what are you heading out to Vegas for?
What's that?
What are you heading out to Vegas for?
I gotta make some money to pay the rent, bro. No, I live in Vegas and in LA.
Oh, you're not in LA anymore?
I go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, my wife's a singer-songwriter, so she performs a lot in Vegas.
Cool.
And right after COVID, we sold our house in Newport Beach. It was a nice house. And we were doing the Airbnb, and then we weren't able to do it. And we got a lot of money for it, so we sold it. And was going to buy a place in Vegas. And then I held off because I didn't know if I was going to like it, so we just rented, and I put my money in Bitcoin. And then I pretty much doubled my money I got from the equity from the house. And a year later, it crashed. So now I'm down.
Jeez.
So
my dad's in Vegas. My dad's in Vegas. He said that's what everybody does now is they move from California, sell their houses for $1.5 million, and they buy a $600,000 mansion in Vegas.
Right. But unfortunately, the interest rates are so darn high right now. It's like, not really worth it.
Yeah, you finding a house though? Because the inventory's bad too.
Right. The inventory's the inventory's actually picking up, but it's just the interest rates now.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally, if I would have bought a place right when I moved, instead of waiting because I wasn't sure I was gonna like it, literally 1 year later, the average price of the same places we looked at a year before was $100,000 more.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I was pretty annoyed. So I'm hoping it'll crash and go back down a little bit, or the interest rates will come down. But we're happy where we live. That's the thing is we have very low overhead. We have beautiful townhouse. It's 12-foot ceilings, all brand new, modern. That's the thing about a lot of the places out there in Vegas. Everything's brand new, being built.
Right. So what's next for you in the bodybuilding world?
You guys there?
What's next for you in the bodybuilding world?
Are you done competing? You officially hang up the tights?
You guys with the reception?
No, I think it's you, Danny.
I think it's you, Danny.
Why don't we reschedule when you're stationary, Danny? We'd love to have you back rather than talk shop a little bit more.
Oh, you know what? Let me. Is it me that's getting the bad reception?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Is that me that's getting the bad reception?
A little bit.
Okay, let me pull over. It's starting to get a lot of traffic right now anyway, so I'm gonna pull over.
You want to just, Danny? Why don't we just reschedule when you're comfortable?
Good. You want to say that again?
Danny? Why don't we just reschedule when you're comfortable and sitting down at a desk or something? We'd love to talk shop with you.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that so we can start from the beginning and talk a little bit about your bodybuilding career when we have a lot more time, because we're almost about 15 minutes. We're going to be ending it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, at least I know how to do this thing now.
Yeah, just log off.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Danny. We'll be in touch. We'll get you back again.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Bye.
brother. Be well.
All right. Well, he tried. So I appreciate that.
This is what I forgot what we were talking about here, but anyway.
So
what's next? So what's next for you, Vinny?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say. I have a few things in the works with a marketing company that is based out of Florida, And that, so a lot of people know, like, people try to be influencers on social media with having their YouTube channels. And when it builds up, an ad hopefully will, buy space on the person's YouTube. So a company approached me a while back. We put together a whole training thing. I can't give too much information out.
Yeah.
And the company's investing in me, and they're putting the ad spaces on YouTube channels like Nick Power and Strength, and other ones that are like him, like them, like that. And that's really it. I mean, I'm trying to market towards the over 50 guy with these ads, and hopefully that takes off. Trying to capitalize a little bit on being a Masters Olympian. Going to use it to my advantage, and trying to just get more clients. Competing, I don't even want to think about it right now. Right now, I'm shutting it off.
It's the holidays, man. Eat, enjoy.
No, it's not even that. I just, I don't want to. I don't want to like smother myself right now with that. I just want to like enjoy life.
Yeah.
In December, I'm going to a Cowboys game. They're playing the Eagles. My nephew and I are going to fly out to Texas. I'm looking forward to that. Spending some time with him out there.
They're not doing too bad, are they?
They're doing all right. Yeah.
And my Dolphins are 3-1. I can be happy right now.
They're doing well. The Eagles are doing well.
Yep.
They're 4-0 right now, I think.
Yeah.
And so the whole NFC East is doing pretty good. They're pretty strong. So I just when you compete all the time, and when people get up in your face and go, "What's next? What's next?" That could be, and we're having a conversation now, so I don't mean it that towards you, but it's like you gotta learn to have balance and to turn it off and to enjoy life.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons why I've had longevity in the sport is because I've been able to turn it off throughout the years. When I first, here's something that will go a little bit with what we were talking about earlier. When I did the Masters Baltimore Pro, those 2 years in a row in 17 and 18, taking dead last, it was embarrassing, and I had something to prove that I wasn't done. And when I reached out, like I said in other podcasts about reaching out to other coaches, I went to one, then another, and all three turned me down for various reasons. And, basically, Vin, you're washed up. Your better days are behind you. That put a chip on my shoulder, and it pissed me off. So I had something to prove, and I proved it. Now here comes the Olympia. I can't pass it up.
Yeah. But
I'm not pissed off. I'm happy. And when I think any athlete becomes complacent, you gotta find that spot again. Like, what's your why? Why are you doing this? And I gotta figure out what my why is right now.
Yep.
I've accomplished everything I'm going to accomplish. And, listen, it's no secret. I've told people many times that, probably one of the worst mistakes I made as a professional was not realizing my worth. So, and what I mean by that is when I did the New York Pro in 2009, after winning my pro card in 2008, I was 7th place. And I think 4 guys ahead of me were in the top 10 of the Olympia the past year.
Okay.
And I didn't see that. I saw 7th place.
Yeah.
Right. So if I would have looked at that and said, "Oh, I did pretty well. I got 4 guys ahead of me that placed in the top 10 of the Olympia." But I wanted that New York title. I wanted to, go back to the New York Pro. So I went back to the New York Pro. And then I took, I think, 7th or 8th that year, the next year in 2010. And those 2 years.
That was open, though, right? Wasn't Masters. Was that open?
Open. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
7th and 8th. And 212, though. and
Okay.
or at the time 202 or 210, like didn't have a
Yeah.
212 yet.
Okay.
And but still didn't see the 7 guys ahead of me, the 6 guys ahead of me. Some of them were in the Olympia. And as a competitor, I put a lot of pressure on myself and think like
Yeah.
I suck because I just took 7th, and that's the New York Pro. And then I said, if I ever get back to doing this, I want to do the New York Pro. So they increased the weight class for Classic from 185 pounds to 192 pounds for my height of
Yeah.
5'6" and 5'7". So I'm 5'6" and a half. So I can get to 192 easy. And I would love to do something in April and May
Okay.
as see if there's a master show, and maybe do the New York Pro in the Classic.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm fresh in my approach, and I'm relaxed, and I'm not going to start looking into January like I did last year, where I'm all like wound up and ready to go.
Yeah.
So I need to like turn it off a little bit. Not so much in the gym, because I love training. I mean, I love it. I love it. I'm actually having a growth spurt again. I am.
Okay.
I'm growing again, and it's just like you get caught up in kind of like how you train, and you stay with that.
Yeah.
And just recently I switched over to doing more like more high volume, and all
Okay.
of a sudden I'm just getting full again and growing.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that.
Plus, let's be honest, brother. You've been on in tunnel vision. I mean, I respect it, like for 6 months. So now it's time to open up and start getting social Vinny back. Like we talked about offline, going to parties and
Yeah,
spending lost time with Sheila and everything else.
I don't want to get too far away from.
Of course,
I want to get it to where I'm like still focused. I
balance.
know what I want to do, but at the same time, I don't want to get too complacent. Because listen, here's a funny story. So Hani Rambod was telling somebody backstage one time, because they asked him, "Hey, do you think Ronnie Coleman will ever compete again?" And he's like, "Ronnie's been out of the game for 5 years, and there was a rumor that he was going to make a comeback. So everybody was excited at the time." And he said, "Listen, if you graduate high school and you go to college, and you graduate college, and you go to grad school, and you're done with that, and it's 5 years later, and you think about going back to school for your PhD or something, you really want to go back to school and have to start studying again?" And no. So I don't want to get too far away from how hard I have to train, because I love training hard. I don't want to get too far away from eating raviolis and pizza and
Homemade sauce
and cheeseburgers, right? So I don't want to get too far away from that, but I also don't want to get too much into it where it's like now I'm like Fat Vinny and I can't breathe and I can't train for a show. So I'm trying to find balance and enjoy life.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is. But if I do the New York Pro, I will announce it here in the future.
Okay. So as you wind down video, are you able to take on new clients? Are you comfortable with your clientele? I mean, from that standpoint?
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of new people online, which is awesome.
Okay.
My online business is growing, and getting new people, trying to get them into Powerhouse Gym down in Saddlebrook. People contact me kind of local in the area, and I try to get them over there and train. So.
And I know, last question too, I know you had a seminar you're going to do last week or the week before, postponed till the end of October?
Yeah, it's going to be the 21st, sponsored by G Code Nutrition at Gary Camille's Gym, Fitness City in Manasquan. No, wait.
Matawan?
One of them.
And that's the gym with the big Hulk statue in front of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You listen, if anybody can make the seminar, that'd be great. Not only just to see me, hear what I have to say, but if you want to see what a gym looked like in 1991, go to that gym, because it hasn't changed. And this is not a mock. It's just thank God there's a guy like Gary who has kept it true to what it was, because
Yeah.
all the equipment is heavy and hard to use. It's real stuff. It's
Okay.
real equipment. I was just there recently doing some videos with G Code Nutrition, and the Smith machine itself was so damn heavy. I had to use something else to warm up with before I got on that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, I'm being serious. It was really heavy.
Okay.
And plus too, I got the screws in my shoulder, so I need to be careful. But if you want to see nostalgia and you want to see what old school, what it looked like when I went there for the first time when I was 18 years old, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed at all. And there's thousands of pictures all over the walls from guys and women that competed in New Jersey, New York, and pros.
Yep.
For the last 40, 50 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
We have somebody saying it's Madawan, I guess Madawan, and he's saying great pec deck there, very old school pec deck. I don't know if you know what he's talking about.
I know exactly what who's that? Who's saying that?
Greg Lawler. He's a big fan of ours.
Greg's right. That pec deck is that. So today's pec deck, the arms move, right?
Yeah.
This one was the original. It was a
pads,
solid,
like big thick pads.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And you could do rear delts on it. It's fantastic. It's great piece. And Gary will be there. He's part of the woodwork there. He's his own legend. He
looks good for like 60 or 65, whatever he is.
Yeah, but Gary needs to get a new wardrobe because it's 1992 on him too.
He's got the Zubas. I've seen him. Yeah, he's got the Zubas, I believe.
I love him. Gary's a great guy. I'm just teasing. Yeah.
What date is that again? You remember the 20-something?
21st.
Okay.
2 p.m. in Matawan at Fitness City.
Yeah. So make sure if you guys go, it's free, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah. So go see Vinny. Tell him how you love the podcast. If there's any guests you want to see, but like always, we're here for you.
Yeah. So who do we have next week?
So next week we have Fred Smalls.
Yep.
So that'll be a good one.
He's a great competitor, and he just did really well at the Tampa. He won that, and he was top
fourth or fifth, I think, in Olympia.
Yeah, he did great. Yeah, a lot of size. Big guy, amazing back. He came in great condition. Real thick guy, small waist, and then we have in 2 weeks we have Monica Brandt going to be coming on.
Working on Monica Brandt, hopefully. I know you have someone yourself.
Yeah. So local guy, but we can talk about him next week.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Well, Vin, it's always good catching up. Next time, hopefully, Danny will be stationary for us. We'll just leave it at that.
All right. Have a great night, guys.
And on that note, thank you so much, folks. As always, thank you for tuning in to the Masters Muscle Podcast. Take care.